Hello again, chapter 13. It's very important. It's extremely important that you, um, obviously, I want you to review the slides and the information I'm providing you, but you've got to read the textbook. You must review them, know the material, and send me questions if you'd like, or you can look questions up via AI if you like, or contact me. I'd be more than happy to help you. Um, but please do that. It's very, very important. You should be spending at least 45 minutes a day or more just reviewing the materials. If you do that, you won't have any problems at all. So the test will open on Sunday at 12 noon. And because of the holiday weekend, I will actually, the availability for the test will remain open until 11:59 p.m. on Monday evening. So take your time, study, and take heed and study accordingly. One of the marketing mix components is promotion, right? We all know that. Whatever you do, you should know you should know the four P's of marketing. You should be able to spit those out and be able to reiterate those at any given time. Today, we're going to focus again on promotion. And we're focused on, because the actual strategy, it really is dependent upon three major decision areas. That's in the marketing mix strategies. How are we going to utilize that? Also, segmentation, and it's all about enhancing our revenues and profitability. We are in business to make money and maximize shareholder value. By doing that, we should have great marketing strategies and plans in place that will enhance our value to our consumers. If we're a public company, our stock price should increase as a result of that. Promotion, we all know the definition of promotion, but here it is for you. And really, promotion is a part of branding ourselves and branding the company as well. A brand does for a company what our personality will do for each of us. Our personality speaks for us, our brand speaks for ourselves as well. Think of some strong brands. When you think of Taylor Swift, what's her brand? When you think of Mercedes-Benz, what's the brand there? When you think of these different types of companies, all these different organizations has a brand, whether intended or not intended. The same is true with you. There is a brand associated with Aaron, with Drew, and with Gia and others that are in the class. You have a brand. So it's important that you are always promoting your brand in a positive vein. And we want to ensure obviously that we have a strong brand. And if you have a flawed personality or flawed brand, it can repel customers as opposed to attract them. Same thing with poor branding. However, there are no absolutes in marketing. I have a little clip here, and let's see if I can bring that up for you right now. Oh, no, don't tell me it's lost now. Don't tell me it's lost. Okay, let me go back to my slide, and I think I may have to I apologize for this. What I'm going to do here is this was supposed to be saved in a format that I could click on it. Let me see if I can do this right now. And matter of fact, just click on that. Okay, now let's bring it back up again. So there are no absolutes in marketing. This one company, it's really interesting what they did. It's pretty cool, right? It's kind of interesting. Liquid death. Liquid death, right? So it's amazing because if we think about this, there's some Swedish subtitles. Get rid of that. So there are no absolutes in marketing. Obviously, we want to have a strong brand, and oftentimes you'll think that certain topics will repel portions of the consumer marketing. But however, look at that. Liquid death is something that they're using that as a positive, but it's a negative. It certainly is going to detract a number of people from even trying the product. I remember I had products, some of the liquid death, I had individuals that were scared to even try it because they said, I'm not going to drink liquid death. I'm not going to do that to myself. Whereas others think it's irreverent. They think it's funny. They love it, right? So in marketing, we have all types of marketing. We have traditional, we have irreverent, off-brand, we have all types of marketing. And so the key is we need to tap into our target, the segment. When you think about liquid death, who's the market? Certainly not geriatrics. If I showed that ad to my 94-year-old father, he would be, and my 89-year-old mother, they would be flabbergasted. And they would not like that. However, if I showed it to someone, some of my kids that are in their 30s, they may say, "Hey, it's pretty cool." The point is that we're marketing target segment. We're marketing to the segments. We're identifying the segment, identifying what those different segments enjoy or dislike, and then providing products that are attracted to that market segment. Liquid Death has a marketplace. It's by the way, the owner of Liquid Death, I think he started maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Today, it's $1 billion brand. You heard me correctly. That's with a B, $1 billion brand. So branding, branding and promotions, that's how we brand ourselves. Brands need to tell the story. The brand of Liquid Death tells a story. The brand of Taylor Swift tells a story. The brand of Mercedes tells a story. Look at Mercedes versus BMW, right? Both are kind of uber luxury vehicles, can be at any rate. But if you think about it, Mercedes-Benz has a certain brand, but in my opinion, at any rate, is that the way that I decode that messaging is that BMW is a little bit for a better ride. Let's say they believe that they have the best vehicle, the ultimate driving machine. That's a Mercedes. Whereas I'm sorry, the ultimate driving machine is BMW. Whereas Mercedes has more of a plush brand associated with it. So even while the two vehicles may be commensurate in price, their brands are different and they're going to attract different individuals. And the brands tell a story. So positioning also in marketing today, it's all about being able to differentiate yourself. So if you think about in a particular market, let's say it's a market where everyone has the same product. So everyone's selling milk. I think we talked about this before. How do you position your product such that someone's going to purchase your milk versus someone else's? And the positioning, it could be grass-fed, organic. It could be skim milk. It could be almond milk. Whatever it is, you're creating a brand identity for that product. And most companies also have a value proposition. It means that this is why they exist. And so the brand and the value prop must be congruent. Some differentiating aspects, as I mentioned with, I think it was orange juice before. Today I use milk. So it could be the image. What's the image of it? And what's the there's something innovative about it. Maybe it's customer service. If you think about Target versus Walmart. Many individuals love going to Target. They may not love the Walmart customer experience as much. But even if you consider Target and compare that to Nordstrom, there's a totally different product there as well, a totally different branding or positioning strategy. Nordstrom, they built their business on customer service, and they do that. By the way, some companies, as they differentiate themselves, they can become a category killer. A category killer means you come in and you just take the market over. For instance, if a Walmart opens in a small rural town and there's just a five and dime store there, or Ben Franklin or some other store that was there, they're probably going to put those other businesses out of business because they can provide great prices, they can provide greater service and some other things as well. And as a result, and because of their selection, they're going to most organizations or most individuals will actually go to Walmart instead of the small family business. It's a shame, but that's what happens. Wegmans, you may or may not have heard of Wegmans. It's a it's a store that started in the Northeast. It's now, I believe there's one in Raleigh. There isn't one in Greensboro yet. But Wegmans, I believe, is a category killer. When you go into a Wegmans, it's phenomenal. They have like a food court there, a two-story food court, and they have a sushi bar, pizza bar. They'll make all types of foods for you from scratch, and it's all there. And they actually, their prices are comparable to um, a Harris Teeter, if not better than a Harris Teeter. And so with that, I call it a category killer. If Wegmans opens up in your neighborhood, you're going to find that most people will bypass the Walmart, well, bypass the Harris Teeter and head to the Wegmans, because Wegmans is going to, first of all, the image is phenomenal. There's an innovative approach to selling. They have great customer service. They have performance and great selection. So they'll go there. So just be aware of that strategy. But you have to manage the brand as well. Customers want authenticity. They want transparency. They want consistency. That's what they want. Does Walmart provide those things? Maybe, maybe not. But you'll find that most customers want a brand that's authentic and they can believe in it. If you go into a Wegmans, you believe in what they're doing. The people there. You go into a Trader Joe's, it's authentic experience. It's a transparent experience. It's a consistent experience as well. Um, a friend of mine owns 50 McDonald's. He probably would not like me saying this, but if I just went to McDonald's today and ordered that $5 meal, wanted to see what that was about. And when you compare a McDonald's experience to a Chick-fil-A experience, it's like night and day. If I go to a Chick-fil-A, someone's smiling, they want me there. I feel like I'm a great customer and they appreciate me. When I went to McDonald's today, they they didn't get my order right, number one. Number two, no one said thank you. No one said, how are you doing? Nothing. When I pulled up to the first window, they told me 5.59, and that's all they said. I gave them the money. They gave me my receipt. They said, next window. Go to the next window. They give me my food. They didn't say thank you. They didn't say how are you or anything. So again, I don't understand that, by the way. Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, I would think, are paying pretty much the same. So it comes down to training. And it's not just my friend who owns 50 McDonald's, but that seems to be the experience around throughout the United States. I'm not going to say it's the same when you travel to other McDonald's outside the country, but the experience in the United States is about the same. We'll go there, we'll tolerate it, but if there's a alternate, we'll probably choose the alternate. Messaging. We take a look at messaging is very important. POES, POES, and this is just a framework for understanding and integrating different media channels. And we will integrate them into a cohesive marketing strategy, and that's really the bottom line on the POES. And POES stands for, as you can see here, it's really for paid, owned, earned, and shared. You'll find that the brand, we really control our advertising media, the ads that we're posting perhaps in magazines or on social media or wherever it might be. We own, maybe on our customer website, we have information out there. Maybe we have a blog, but there's also some things that are a portion of the POES model that we don't control. For instance, media coverage. If you take a look at Liquid Death, they had a lot of media coverage because it was so abnormal that people people bought into it, and there was a lot of coverage there. It wasn't really controlled by the brand, by Liquid Death, but just by them being so out of the box in their thinking that they had a lot of earned communications. And then they also had shared communication, a lot of buzz, word of mouth. A lot of people are talking about it, maybe on social media, those types of things. So in marketing, we have to always remember the POES model, paid, owned, earned, and shared model. I'm not going to go into this. You can just talked about that: paid, owned, earned, shared. It's pretty intuitive. But whatever model we're using in the promotional mix, it's very important that we provide customers and consumers with multiple touch points. And each of those touch points must be a positive, or should be a positive experience. as I mentioned with McDonald's, with my McDonald's experience. They made brand, they had the $5 meal, they got me in there because of that. But then if you take a look at the experience, the customer experience was really below par. And as a result of that, I'll go in there if I have to, but I'm not going to make a special trip to McDonald's. Wendy's, I might. Chick-fil-A, I might. But for McDonald's, I probably won't. And that's a shame, but that's just a part of their strategy, I guess. Very important. Each of the touch points, whether or not it's multimedia, whether or not it's a website, whatever it is, it's got to be positive. And so, because it's going to influence our relationship with the brand. Now, I'm not because McDonald's is owned by my friend. I will probably tell him it's nothing new about the experience I've had, but I'm not going to blast him on social media. But others probably are, and they will on an ongoing basis. Matter of fact, it's probably if you go on the social media, everyone's talking about the fact that McDonald's ice cream machine is always broken. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that. So key aspects of promotion. So if you think about this, promotions really strengthen the brand. Promotions typically are short-term engagements. You may have a promotion, maybe it's a buy one, get one free. Maybe it's something that's just highlighting the value of the product. Maybe it's something to stabilize sales. Maybe what I'm going to do now is have a buy one, get one, or buy one, get two, buy two, get one, whatever it is, a BOGO sale, whatever it might be. I'm looking for ways that I can differentiate my product and promote that. And I may use push techniques or pull techniques. A push technique may be something that is I'm advertising and I'm telling the customers that come on in to they see an advertisement. I'm pushing that advertising out to my customers, to consumers like me, and the company's pushing it out to me. I received it, they pushed it to me, and I went and they got me. A pull might be they're going to send out coupons to everyone, and then you get if you buy that new $5 meal, you buy one, you get one free. That's a pull. So you send that out, customers then have to redeem the coupon. They'll come back in with that redeemed coupon. Marketing messages, right? Marketing channels contain and carry their marketing communications. And it's a key component here. How are we going to get our messaging out? So we have, if you, I mean, we are in such an exciting time right now. We're in a point when if you have kids, if you have grandkids, your grandkids are going to be asking you about 2024, the 2020s, because there so many things are happening at such a rapid pace right now. You may not realize it because you're in the midst of it, but it's amazing. And what's happened is that if you look at paid mass media advertising was really strong there for a time. Radio, cable television, radio, magazines, newspapers. That is really on its way out. It's on a decline. If you think about the product life cycle that we talked about newspapers, right? It's definitely, we had the introduction, we had the growth, we had the maturation phase, and now it's in a declining phase. I no longer, matter of fact, I bought a newspaper the other day, for local newspaper, it was $3. And I can also just go online now and just get the local content. That's typically what I do. I'm going to go to WXII, channel 12. I go to their website. I get basically all the news I need to get from them, CNN, and some other channels that are out there. I'm going to use that. So, but it's very important that if we are using mass media, such as social media and some of these other items, that we understand how to best segment our market, ensure that we are marketing to the right market segment. May use Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat, and maybe others my age don't either. So therefore, if your product is geared toward Gen X, Gen A, Gen Z, whatever it might be, or millennials, you're going to find advertising medium that they would best utilize. So on the rise, we're shifting now from mass market to one-on-one campaigns, right? And those one-on-one marketing campaigns include, you may find that someone has so we're finding now that when I sign into Amazon has a portfolio of what I like and don't like, and when I sign in, they're going to say, last time you purchased something, this is something similar. You might like this as well. So it's kind of a one-on-one campaign, and And so we're going to see greater growth in the one-to-one campaigns. And we have promotional strategies. We've talked about the push strategy, the pull strategy. Read up on these things. Whatever you do, the marketing mix, promotional mix is going to be in play here, and it's very important that you exercise it properly. So today, as in the old days, you may have a uh, someone famous promote a product. That certainly works to a certain extent today, but I'm finding, and you're going to find that if I'm looking at a restaurant, I'm going to go to Yelp, or I'll view some other review sites that will give me a better view of a better perspective of what others are saying about their customer experience there, the food, the service, those types of things. So I'm trusting my peers more than advertisers. So we're finding that there's going to be more of a strategy and a trend toward that. So we have to decide what's the right message, what's the right channel to target to reach our target customers, and we have to develop the right message to them as well. And so we need to understand the communications, how messaging is how it is transported from a sender to a receiver, and what occurs as a result of that. So in that, we'll find that I'm looking for something else here. I don't see it, but it's here though. In a communication process, the sender, or let's say the company, they actually will encode their messages in certain language and promotional language. Media, whether it's a magazine, whether it's a social media, whatever it might be, they carry the message, and the receivers decode the language of the message. Right? We talked about liquid death. As a liquid death manufacturers, they use social media to carry the message. I've received it. I decode it. It's not for me. I don't like it. I don't think it's the right thing. Right? I'm just saying that a lot of people will say they don't really want that. However, others will say it's great. I love its irreverent nature, and I love the product. And so, whatever it might be, you have to ensure that your customer base is receiving it, decoding it, and understanding it the way you want it to be understood. It's all transactional. Um, and now we have to turn our attention to plans, schedules, and budgets. Plans. All companies, all organizations must have an effective plan, effective action plan. And that includes understanding our market. As I said, liquid death. I'm not going to sell that product, or I most probably will not have high sales or high volume and high profit, which is what I desire, if I'm trying to sell 5 million cases of this product to geriatrics or someone who's over 60 years old or 50-year old or whatever it is, right? So I have to focus on ensuring that I have the product in the right, seasonality. I have a friend that opened a FedEx type store, and they opened it in January. That's the worst possible time to open that. The best possible time to open it would have been in October. Then they would have worked out some of their kinks in November, and then for the Christmas season, that's when the bulk packages take place, from November through the end of December. They missed it, and so they weren't successful because they opened it at the wrong time of their year. Seasonality. What's the stage of the life cycle? Remember, we must always think about these products. If you are thinking of starting a newspaper or a magazine, our magazines and newspapers, where are they in their life cycle? For the most part, most individuals would proclaim that they are in a declination or in a decline period. But who knows? As I said, there are no absolutes. Maybe perhaps for your publication, maybe there is a large market, and maybe you can still make money and make huge profits, high volume and high profits. It really depends. Schedule. So you must have your plan, and you must have all the components of the plan. You should have schedules for that. And the other thing is market. To market costs money. And so if you have limited budget, you might just craft perhaps some advertisements that you'll send out, maybe via email or on social media, but it costs money. If you hire a marketing firm, or if within your company you have to hire individuals to market your products, it costs money. So it really depends upon how much money do you have versus how much you anticipate earning. IMC is so IMC is integrated marketing communications. It's really promotions. That's really what it is. Just be aware that today, if as we now focus on promotions and we're now segueing into more social media, IMC is really the term that's used in that space. And IMC is just a process that marketers use again to plan, develop, execute, and evaluate their plans, their brand communications. So that's what it is. Promotion is a little bit above that. Really, it's the whole process. But this is how effective is our communications. Okay, guess what? There isn't any one size fits all. Every firm is going to be different. If their IMC is going to be different for Liquid Death versus Mountain Dew versus Dasani water versus Aquafina water versus BMW versus Amazon. It's all different. So there's no one plan that fits all. We have, however, the company must have the correct communication model so that they're communicating effectively and their users are also decoding that information effectively, and they are um, receiving that message, decoding that message in the manner that the manufacturer or the retailer expected. This is it. Basically, the communication models consist of 6 steps. You have the message source. So in this case, let's say it is Liquid Death. They are the sender, and now they're going to. There's a message that they're trying to send. The message is it's irreverent. It's cool. It's something that maybe you've never heard of before. But if you are in our target, if you are in our target segment, I think it's probably cool, right? And by the way, as teenagers and as young adults, typically you would like to purchase something that's going to aggravate or irritate your parents. That's just been the plan throughout years, right? I used to play Jimi Hendrix and Star Spangled Banner and crank it up. And today we do different things, right? So, but we're encoding. The medium then is social media, whatever it might be. Then there's decoding. So I want to ensure that when people are looking at my messaging on social media or in a publication, whatever it might be, that whatever medium it might be, that they're decoding it and that they are reading it or anticipating it or perceiving it in the manner that I meant it to be perceived. And then I can provide feedback, whether it's positive, hopefully it's positive, or negative. But today also we're receiving that feedback much more frequently. As I mentioned with my poor customer experience at McDonald's, I'm not going to do it, but oftentimes I'm the guy that's really writing letters to the manufacturer about what's going on, what's wrong, and what my experience was like. Sometimes whether it's good or bad. And in this case, rather than put that on social media, I'll probably just contact the owner himself and say, you've got to do a better job. So these are, just read this so you know what the 6 steps are. And it's very important too that, again, that the message is being the message is being sent, it's being crafted, and it's being anticipated in the proper manner. So let me show you another video here. Hopefully it's ready. Okay, I like tequila. But look at this. We have to be really careful about the messaging that we send, right? So we have to be very careful about. Oh, let me get rid of this. Okay. All right, so it's important that the audience decodes the message in the manner in which the sender wanted it decoded. Now, this may have seemed innocent to Dove, and it probably was. No, there was no harm intended. However, it was perceived by certain women to be derogatory. So they spent a lot of money on that ad, even though it was I think they said 30 second, 3 second, whatever it was. Even though it was a short one, they spent money. They had to hire um, the staff and crew to create the ad, pay for the models, and that was lost revenue. And also, their goodwill for the company was damaged as a result of that messaging that was received or decoded that was decoded in a manner that was not consistent with what they expected. Feedback. That's really what happened. They received a lot of feedback on it was on Facebook. They received a lot of feedback. They apologized and they moved forward with new programs. So crafting messages. Remember AIDA, AIDA. No matter what you do, AIDA, AIDA stands for, attention, interest, desire, action. Anything we do has to grab their attention. It has to be of interest to them. It has to create desire in the customer, and it has to make them want to act. $5 meal, McDonald's, got my attention. I was interested. It was a double burger, French fries, soda, $5, and also I think there's four nuggets in there as well, right? Desire. I'm not a big McDonald's fan, but I said I'll try it, and I got in my car and I drove to McDonald's, so it was successful. However, the product and the experience was subpar, so that impacted that. But Ada certainly worked in that manner. What am I doing here? Okay, let's see here. Let me be certain I'm in the right place here. Okay, get rid of subtitles. We talked about those things, the feedback, crafting messages, stand. So Ada just again grabs the customer's attention, interest, desire, and action. I have a lot of information here. Same thing we just talked about. Take a look at that, review that. By the way, again, read the manual, read the textbook. I'm just giving you a really high overview of the materials contained therein. It's important that you study. I want you to do well. So there's different ways that we can grab their attention. Could be a story that you're telling, number of reasons why, question and answer, could be humor, right? So attention, the humor, liquid death, going to keep your attention. And sex appeal could be used as well. Promotional mix. And so we no longer control all aspects of the promotional mix. And remember, in the POES model, only the paid and owned channels we control. The earned and shared is really controlled by our stakeholders, especially our customers. They control that. And so everything's not under our control. So, and again, the promotions P has grown in complexity. Remember again, promotions is today, increasing emphasis is on IMC. One-to-one marketing. We're finding that more companies are trying to be socially responsible today because they're finding that customers want companies to be socially responsible, to look out for others. Back in the 80s, there was a show called, there was a movie called, back in 85, 86, there was a show called Wall Street, the original Wall Street with Michael Douglas. And in there, it really espoused a theme that unfortunately controlled or took hold of the 80s and 90s, and that was greed is good. Matter of fact, in that movie, he said someone wanted to be his mentee. He wanted Michael Douglas to mentor him. He said, "Look, if you want a friend, I'm in here to make money, and if you want a friend, get a dog. I'm not the one." That is, thank goodness, that mindset is being diminished today with companies now being more socially responsible. Tom's Shoes, every pair of Tom's shoes that you purchase, they will give away a pair, um, and certain things of that sort. So they're socially responsible. And globalization, we have to remember that our promotions must be, oftentimes we're going to take our promotions and we're going to go global with them. However, you have to remember that certain things, certain words, certain images may be normal here, but they may be offensive in other countries. Like I think like we use the color black at funerals. I think the color white is deemed to be a negative in other cultures, or the number we use number 13 maybe as a bad luck omen, whereas in other countries and other cultures, it may be the number 4. So you have to be very, really cognizant of that, because cultural missteps can really thwart your entry into those markets. So that's all I have for you for chapter 13. Read the manual, read the textbook, chapters 12 and 13. And remember, when is the test going to open? Sunday, 12 noon. When will it close? It will remain open until 11:59 p.m., almost 12 midnight on Monday evening. Take your time, study, review your notes, read your textbook, please. And that's all I have for you today. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend, and we will talk soon. I'm also looking forward to talking to more of you. I have a few one-on-ones set up, but I want to meet with each and every one of you. Thanks. Have a great day.